Well, hello there, Peach here. And today we're going to talk about how to make your own cloth mask, custom with words or pictures or whatever you want on it. So first thing you do is you get your paper to use, and this is Crayola brand. It's t-shirt iron-on transfer, and it's got to be a cotton mask, cloth mask. And then you make it on the computer, which I'll show you, and then you cut it out. And after you make it on the computer, make sure you proof it to make sure everything is spelled perfectly, reading it once or twice and having someone else read it once or twice, because there's nothing dumber than making a mask, going to all this trouble and walking around with the misspelling, unless it's intentional to be funny. But then you just cut it out after you've printed it on the paper. And by the way, use an inkjet printer for these because it doesn't work with a laser printer. I know because I tried it, because I'm horrible at following instructions without trying what they say not to do. I'm like that with lots of stuff because I need to find my own truth. And their truth is actually true in this case, because this is how it turns out when you try it on a laser printer. See how, and it screws up the laser printer for a few sheets after that. So now you know, if you're a questioner like me and not a rule follower, now you know what's going to happen if you try to do what I did because you're skeptical. Okay, so you continue cutting out right along the edges to make it as small as possible so there's no extra once you've got it cut out. I always do a couple different sizes. So I do the size I think is going to work, and then I do a little bit smaller because it's rarely too small and it's often too big what you end up with. So that way I don't waste paper. And then you iron the mask first to get all the wrinkles out, and you make sure which side is the outside and which side is the inside. So on this one, we've got a lot of stitching, which means that's the inside. That goes against my face. This is the outside. Also, with some of these, you will have one side that has a little piece of metal in there that you can bend for your nose, and the other side won't. So you can easily get it upside down. So here's the top, and here's the inside. So I'm gonna flip it around to iron on this side. That's the top. So I know which way to put this thing once I get it down there. And then I'm going to, the iron's preheated, it's already really hot, so I'm just gonna try to iron out as many wrinkles as I can, which you can't get them all out and not all the way to the edge because, you know, there's pleating and stuff in there to make it fit to a round face. And then I'm going to stretch it out to make as big a square as I can before I put my iron-on transfer print side down. And remember, you are going to need to print this in reverse, because if you put it down, you'll see you can see through it and you'll see what's going to be actually coming out when you're done. And if you print it the way you can read it, then it's not gonna work. You gotta print it in reverse, which is easy to flip around with software, or even just Word to flip it around. So then when you iron it on, it will end up being readable. And with some masks or with some designs, it doesn't work, like this one, where it's just a hand across my mouth. And guess what that means, what I'm trying to say there. See, so that doesn't matter because the hand can be either way, but with words it matters. And then you start cranking on this puppy. Again, trying to pull those wrinkles out of there, especially towards the ends, the edges. And then it's going to start to melt onto it. And it only takes one pass over for it to get all melted on up on in there. And then the other side. And then you just start pushing on it and cranking on it, pushing down. That should be about right. If you go too long, you can start to burn a little bit, you know, the cotton and stuff, and it's like a little brown spots and things. So I'm going to let this cool off, and then I'm going to slowly peel off the paper. And if it doesn't start to come right away on the corner, or if any of it starts to come off as I'm peeling off, that means I didn't iron long enough. So then I can get back on there. But that's how you make these customized masks based on your message. So you don't have to try to look and find one. and or like a smile. I have a couple masks with smiles on them, or one that has like a bad teeth, a missing tooth, the rest of them are yellow, just to make people laugh, because that's good. Laughing's good. Okay, looks like it's cool enough. So I'm just going to carefully start to peel this off, make sure that the words are staying behind. Looks like they are. I'm still going to go real slow to make sure none of that is coming off. Looks like it's doing great. It worked awesome. And I got my little metal nose thingy at the top so I can pinch it down to my nose. And then there you have it. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. How about that, huh? How you like me now? I personally use Canva. And so I made this, and there's a title there, there's the picture here and a frame, and then there's the words down here. And then I imported this into Word. So I'm not going to go into how to use Canva because you probably have your own thing that you're using. Or you could just go straight into Word. And so this would be for people that think the pandemic is a hoax. And then this one here would be, I made another one for people who think that the pandemic is a real thing. And so you can see the difference here. I used the graph from the Washington State Department of Health. I cited the address down here so people can look it up for themselves. And it just shows the death rate. Here's March, here's the beginning, it's a peak, and it's coming down. And then the second wave for lots of different reasons. And then down here like this, and then it's like it's over. Okay, it's over. So this shows people it's not just a statement. And that's what you got to do is you got to show people. So then the other side, where people are saying, no, we got to listen to the authorities and wear the masks and do everything they say and stay home and close your business. So this one, again, same format. I just used the same format. I copied it and I made a new one, and I used different graphs. So this is from the same thing, Department of Health in Washington. And this shows the cases. But as you can see, I just took the last part. I took this chunk over here for cases because that's where we started doing all the testing. So then people can see a connection. Actually, if I were this person, I wouldn't want to be showing a connection between tests and cases because that kind of ruins my argument. So here's what I would do. I'd go ahead and leave that up there just so I could look credible. And then I would just take out testing. And then I would take this graph. I'd keep the word cases in there because that's scary and that's the idea. So then I'd take this graph and I would cut it down to there to peak, to make it look like it's still going up. Then I would put cases in there, and then I'd have to redo. Well, this is a little bit harder format because it's rectangular, so I'd have to probably do a square on this. But anyways, I'd say, hey, this is how I prove my point because I'm taking part of this graph here, but I wouldn't tell people it's only part of it. And then I'd say, it's science, because data is science, right? Data is science. And then here's why you should obey the authorities, because they're always looking out for us and they're following the science, and we've got to listen to our scientists and stuff. Anyways, you get the picture. So that's how you can, no matter which side you're on, that's how you can make your graph and your message. And of course, I use the entire thing because I can from when it started to now. Then I just download this because that's what you do with Canva. And then you go over to the Word document, and I've already reversed these. So because you have to have it reversed. See, this is what it looks like when it's not reversed, but that won't work to use as an iron-on because when you put it face down, it's backwards. So you have to print it backwards. So when you put it face down, it face forwards. All you have to do in Word is just to click it and then stretch it and keep stretching until it flips around. See? Can you see it? And then make sure it's the same size. and there you've got it reversed. And I already sized these out before I printed it on the transfer paper. I printed it on regular paper first, and then I put it over the mask to make sure it's going to be the right size, so I don't waste any of this transfer paper, which is a lot more expensive than regular paper. But, and there you have it. So go print your own so we can have more conversations about this. And I don't actually care what side you're on. It doesn't offend me if you're not on my side. And regardless, I will fight for your right to be able to talk and to speak your side to me and everyone else. I think all sides need to have freedom of speech and to speak whatever they want. All right, hope this helped. So go out and make yourself some custom, totally custom masks, and have some fun with this and spread your message. And if you liked this and got anything out of it, go ahead and click like. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to click the little button to be reminded of when new videos come out, go ahead and click that little button. And then if you want someone else to see this, then there's a share button too. Spread the love. Yeah, buddy. Okay, that's all I have to say about layout.
And that's all I have to say about that.